What is up, everyone, and welcome into the newest episode of Friday Night Wars, the hottest sports debate show in the game today, and we're bringing it to you live in the flesh. It's been 2 weeks since our last episode. I'm talking, so you know what that means. I must have won the last episode of Friday Night Wars, and even the score, as you see, it's 16-16. This is our 34th or 35th episode. There was a few with guests, so that aren't counted on here. 34th episode, but the big announcement is, since the last time we were on the air, we actually hit 1,000 subscribers. And it's a big deal to us because that's been a goal of ours since the day we started this. Joe's freezing up a little bit. Joe, fix your freaking internet connection. But anyways, that's a goal that we've had since we started this. We appreciate everyone who has shown the love and support that everyone has shown for Friday Night Wars since the day that we birthed. So instead of going on a long tangent, going on a long victory speech, as I tend to do every single time that I win Friday Night Wars, which is most weeks. I see the score is tied, but it's skewed a little bit. I go on long runs. He comes back. I go on another long run. He comes back. Yada, yada, yada. Instead of sitting here and telling you how much my co-host sucks at debating sports, I'm actually going to play a little alternate intro video. It's a little longer than the usual intro video, but I got to take everything off the screen first. So sit back, enjoy how the Warzone Sports Network and Friday Night Wars especially got started. Friday Night Wars was the first show featured on this YouTube channel. So we're going to take Joe Morley off. Take that off. Take me off. Enjoy the little 3-minute clip that I made for you guys.
Let's get ready to rumble! Step into the war zone!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first ever episode of Friday Night Wars. I am Joe Morley.
And I am Mike on the mic. Welcome, everyone, to the first ever episode. This is going to be the hottest debate show on YouTube/on team.
Come on.
So I think Tom Brady did make the right move.
You put him in the Bengals, the worst organization, and this dude is putting up numbers.
And cheers to you, Joe Morley.
This is
TikTok,
what they do over there.
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, MySpace, LinkedIn, doesn't matter.
The jabroni beating.
Question number 2. Who is the biggest threat to dethrone the Los Angeles Lakers?
I think I'm going to go with the Phoenix Suns. How about that? You like that?
Trailblazing, eyebrow raising.
You want the crystal ball? You got this.
Spike that thing.
In front of the millions. And millions.
Poke the TikTok boy, and you might get the TikTok teeth.
The first time in my life I get to see my team announced as the World Series champion.
I almost got canceled by the internet for saying that the Buccaneers are going to beat the Saints last weekend. So here we go again. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to beat the Green Bay Packers in front of the whole world. Look at this, Mike. It's the Pacific Ocean, the one you're drowning in each week.
Los Angeles Lakers suck.
Is cooking.
We are actually launching the Warzone Sports Network starting today. Change, we are no longer just Friday Night Wars.
Does water freeze in a freezer? Does it become ice? Is ice cream really good to eat? Huh? Hell yes, Booker is overlooked. This is the first guy dating a Kardashian that doesn't have his own show, right?
But will he tag Floyd? Probably not. The hottest sports debate show in the game today, where you decide the winner.
I came back and I got that victory, right? 10. A 10. Put it on the board. Yeah. You don't see Mike on the mic because Mike on the mic is suspended for his Charger take. Today is our 30th episode here on Friday Night Wars.
Welcome to the first ever live episode of Friday Night Wars.
It's all good that you guys are finally seeing it, but I've been seeing it since the beginning, Mike. Since the beginning of the damn season. Phoenix Suns, Joe, they're going to blow it in the finals. Keep hating, Tony. Keep hating.
And make sure to hit the like button to get the Warzone Sports Network to 1,000 likes. And subscribe.
Warzone. Friday Night Warzone.
And that's exactly what we did. We got to that 1,000 likes and 1,000 subscribers. Joe,
Yes, we did.
Reminisce. You enjoy the little throwback Thursday we had here on a Friday night.
Yeah, I don't know who Joe Morley Sports Show just posted. Looks like Joe wins all the time. Yeah, that's right. Keep hating, Tony.
As Tony compliments the montage, you say in the video, "Keep hating, Tony."
Yeah, right when he says it. It's a great accomplishment when we started a little bit in October to where we are now. Mike, I know that I always give you a hard time, but great job, Mike.
Same to you, Joe. Same to you. This has been something special, and I know how many hours you've put into this and how many hours I've put into this. Tony Tucker, everyone on the team, Nick Mack, Talk Smack with Mac, Piggy Bank Picks, 7 o'clock, Jay the Plug, everyone. Joe Skirto, Brian Bolstered, the whole team has put into this. Isaac behind the scenes. You guys don't know this, but we got a secret little weapon behind the scenes that helps us out with a bunch of editing tricks. None of this is possible if those people don't show up and make it possible. So we're going to celebrate the 1,000 subscribers. We've been celebrating it this week. We've been pumped about it, but our eyes and our goals are set on 5 digits, 6 digits, and 7 digits one day, Joe.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. My wife says, awesome job. She's proud of you, Mike. She's not proud of me, but she's proud of you.
She knows the truth. She knows the truth.
Justin, thank you, Justin, very much.
She knows that this is Friday Night Wars is Mike on the mic land. She knows. She knows.
But yeah.
Anyways,
great start, but I'm ready to get into it, Mike. Yeah, I'm ready to end this tie. This tie up here, let's get rid of this. It's time to get some more.
How many times have you shot out to a 3-point lead, or I've shot out to a 3-point lead, and then we just always seem to close the gap? We are 2 people who are willing to step up when the moment's big, like the Milwaukee Bucks are in the finals right now. Speaking of the NBA and speaking of the finals, we have a loaded show with 3 topics as we do every week, and you're going to decide the winner at the end of it all. I just realized that we need to switch places. But anyways, we're going over, is the NBA finals better off without the superstars playing in it? I think you know what I'm going to say based off what I'm wearing. I think you know what Joe's going to say based off what he's been saying for the last 6 months or so. Topic 2, where we're talking about if Team USA is doomed or not. That's going to be a fun one. And then topic 3, we're going to close it out with a little fantasy sleeper for all of you here today. Remember, you can vote in the live chat and you can vote in the actual comments if you're watching the replay of the show back who won each round or who won the show overall. And then you'll find out next week by tuning in and seeing who opens up with some smack talk for the other person. Joe, you want to plug our website real quick before we go to war?
Friday. I was gonna go old school and say FridayNightWars.com, but it is now the Warzone Sports Network.com. What Tony told us earlier, new blogs every day. There's been a new blog the last 3 days in a row. We're getting it together, guys. Go check those out. Give those some love. Read up on it. Some great stuff going on over there.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And we've had, I think, multiple days with blogs going up. So there's a couple up there for you guys to read if you want to check it out. Joe, you ready?
Yeah. Randy Pepperton's here.
Randy Pepperton's probably ready. Him down self. I'm ready. I know you guys are ready at home for the first time on this side of 1,000 subscribers. Let's go to war.
Is the NBA Finals better off without Kevin Durant, LeBron James, or Steph Curry participating?
And before I go into this, before I start answering this, one last shout out. This Justin was our first guest on the Warzone Sports Network, and he's in the chat now. So thank you, this Justin. All right. So is the NBA Finals better, Mike? You're saying is it better without like these superstars? I don't want to downplay the importance of superstar players. Every league has players or teams that are more popular than others. We all know that. That isn't a bad thing. But after a while of seeing the same teams or same players over and over and over in championships, to the average fan or even to the diehard fan, it starts to get annoying. I mean, we all know, Mike, that LeBron James is a generational talent. but we are already force fed everything about him. Every day you turn on ESPN or any of those other guys, what are they talking about? LeBron James. LeBron James. I'm done with it. The Bucks and the Suns have been a breath of fresh air, right? It's about time we actually got to see other players in the spotlight besides LeBron James and his little posse. Giannis, Booker, of course, Chris Paul, but Chris Middleton are all being seen in these big games by people who only watched them once or twice before, or maybe they never even watched them at all, Mike. Maybe they didn't even see them once. The NBA probably isn't happy because they don't draw huge numbers like they would have. You know, if it was LA versus Brooklyn, they get Phoenix, Milwaukee. But it's better off for the game of basketball overall because the new stars are in the fans' eyes now. They will look for these players for the next couple of years and root for them. So, yes, the NBA playoffs / finals, whatever you want to call it right now, have been a lot better without some of these big names in it.
Joe, here we go again, disagreeing as we have at least 150 times on this show at this point. And I did the math. We actually are at least 150 times. You have got to be absolutely insane to say that this NBA Finals is better off without the best players on the planet participating. Your son's bias is showing over there, Joe. I don't even have to go and check the ratings. I didn't do any research for this topic. I didn't have to go and look at any of the numbers to make my point. I know the ratings are low. I know the viewership is low. I know that this is probably one of the least watched and lowest rated finals in NBA history. Hell, Joe, tune in to a Warzone Sports Network NBA Finals watch party. What are you going to see us talking about? Are we discussing the NBA Finals and how legendary this series has been without Bron, KD, or Steph? Or are we typically talking about Kobe Bryant, fantasy football, FloJo's shoe collection, which is awesome, by the way, LeBron, MJ, the GOAT talk, Devin Booker, Chris Middleton, the Julio Jones trade? During these, all of this stuff has been talked about during these playoffs and during these finals, during these live streams. You know it's true, and I know it's true, and they know it's true because they tune into them. We get 500,000 viewers on average a week. Prize Picks for us has added a little bit of a spark, but as a whole, without LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and the Kyle Kuzma big three, these playoffs and these finals are completely boring. The only pleasure I'll get out of these finals this year is seeing your dreams crushed when the Bucks beat the Suns in 6 games.
Not going to happen, Mike. Not going to happen. Tony Tucker here says, LeBron and the Lakers should always be in the finals. But seriously, though, this is good for the NBA for 1 year, not long term. So Tony Tucker says 1 round for Joe,
What?
no rounds for
That
Mike.
is not what he said. He said he don't want to see this anymore. He says we'll see this again in 10 years and be happy.
But what I'm saying is what you asked, is it better for the NBA Finals or playoffs this year without the big names? And I said yes. And that's what he's saying. It's good to see some new, fresh faces in the playoffs / championship.
No, it says right here, is the NBA Finals better off without KD, Bron, and Steph? As in now going forward, anytime, is it better off without the best players in the world playing in it? What is Giannis, like 5th best player? And he's the best player on the court right now?
So basically, it's a trick question. You said it's a trick question because in everybody's mind that's reading that question, they were thinking this year.
All right. Well, even this year, next year, in 25 years, the finals will be better off with the best players and the best teams playing in them. And the only reason that's not happening this year is because of injury. And I know you're going to say, I don't give a damn about injuries because of your son's wagon that you've been on, which was a very good prediction. Congratulations, Joe.
Yes,
but
thank you.
You know that the finals will be more entertaining. The finals were way more entertaining in 2016 through 2018 or 2019, even if you want to include last year's with LeBron James, than the finals is this year. And then the finals will be going forward if you told me those guys weren't going to be in the finals going forward.
Either way,
once a decade is when he wants to see this, and you think he's on your side.
let the little guys eat.
Once a decade.
He's on my side. He is on my side. He doesn't want to admit it, but he's on my side. If you guys are tuning in, you guys are watching on all the platforms that we're on. I think we're on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. If you guys want to tune in, you guys let us know in the comments, in the chat right now, what you guys think. Is the NBA Finals better this year without the big name stars? Do you want to see it long term? Are you actually rooting for these other new faces that you normally wouldn't root for? That's what it comes down to. Tony Tucker has built up Chris Middleton to a god. Nobody knew who Chris Middleton was until Tony Tucker started talking about him.
I don't think anyone else is building up Chris Middleton to be a god. I think Tony Tucker is the only one.
Phil K in the house.
What's up, Phil K? Welcome. He's on Joe's side 10%, so I'm 90%. So
I'm wearing you down, Tony Tucker.
I won this round. One vote for Mike. Put it on my board. Took the dub on this one. Joe, you got any last gasps to try and get votes from Phil K at the last second? Thank you, Phil K. He said that's like saying that the finals are better with bad players playing against bad players.
Phil K is not old enough to know.
What? Now you're insulting Phil K.
I'm Middleton's PR agent. Yes, you are.
Viewer.
All right. Let's get on to the next topic. Let's get out of this one.
All right. We'll be talking about some Team USA stuff in the next topic. We will be live for the NBA Finals Game 6 and 7 if it's necessary. So keep a lookout for that. The time is when the game starts, if anyone's wondering. I've had to clear that up a few times. But anyway, let's move on to the next topic.
Is Team USA doomed to fail in the Tokyo Summer Olympics?
Mike, Team USA, are they coached by Gordon Bombay? That's the only Team USA that I ever rooted for. Because we're Team USA and we're going all the way. It's probably like above your head when I mentioned Mighty Ducks and stuff like that. Probably too old or too young for that. But anyways, Team USA went and took down never mind. Anyways, Team USA has been doomed. Team USA basketball has been doomed for a while, Mike. The whole world has been catching up in basketball with the United States. It also doesn't help that we send guys that don't want to win. I don't know if that's fair to say, but they're basically NBA professional basketball players with great contracts, and you were asking them to play in exhibition games against other countries, right? Do you really think they're going to go all out like it's a playoff game or like it's a championship game? I think a lot of them see this as a way to stay in basketball shape, have fun, travel with their friends, play with their friends on the court. If they win, it's a great thing, but if they lose, no harm, no foul, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but Team USA should target the younger stars. They in their first or second years in the league, get those players that can actually play defense and want to play defense, right? These vets have their own routine, and they know the game, and they really will only listen to the coach for probably a little bit. Probably only a little bit. The other countries have been trying to take down USA for years, Mike, and frankly, they have the talent now, and they can. USA isn't a great team. They're not overpowering in basketball as they once were. It's a great sight to see that other countries are on the U.S. level in the game of basketball now.
I will say this, Joe. You made some good points. We'll talk about it during the banter afterwards. People are saying doomed. I wouldn't say doomed. I think that's a little bit of an overreaction to the Team USA losing these exhibition games. At the end of the day, the best team that will be standing in the city of Tokyo, Japan this summer is going to be Team USA by a wide margin, and I expect them to play that way. The games they lost recently were exhibition games. Say it with me. Exhibition games, like a Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul fight. How serious was that? That's how serious these exhibition games were. They played these practice games to do exactly that, practice. And the players know that. Popovich knows that. Everyone involved knows that. Kevin Durant, with a couple of NBA-level decent shooters, I think would be enough to win a gold medal, let alone Kevin Durant with Damian Lillard and Jason Tatum, although Bradley Beal is a huge loss. Come on. Don't fall for this narrative, everyone. I saw the poll on the Warzone Twitter page. Warzone Sports with 2 S's on Twitter, by the way, if you want to go and drop a follow. 69, and that's not a joke. It's not a little tease. It's not a reference. 69% of people are saying Team USA will fold. My question to you is, are you American? Because if you've been watching, 6 of the last 7 gold medals have been won by Team USA for a reason. That's a long run of dominance. That goes all the way back to the early 90s, Joe. They will do it again this year. I have faith that they'll get it together and be the best team in Tokyo, Japan, because they are the best team in Tokyo, Japan.
Mike, most players now that are great players in this league come from other countries, right? We're seeing one right now. We're seeing one right now in the NBA Finals. Team USA is good, but they're not as dominant as they once were. I'm just saying that.
I like what you said, and I thought you were about to say it again, but the point that you made, like, why aren't our hungry young players out there? I understand, like, a lot of people are demanding, why isn't Steph Curry going to Tokyo since Kevin Love and Bradley Beal backed out? Or why isn't LeBron going to Tokyo since those guys backed up? I understand those guys. Those guys played for their country. Those guys paid their dues. They did their thing. They won gold already. Kevin Durant, if he sat out this year, I'd be okay with that. But where the hell is Zion Williamson? You want to be the star of the NBA? You want to be on the cover of 2K? You want to be on magazines? You want to be the future face of American basketball, but you aren't going to play in your first USA Olympics? And he probably could have played in the last one. I'm not sure how old he was for the last one. Where is Ja Morant? Why isn't Ja Morant out there? He's one of the hungriest players in the NBA. He would go out there and dominate right now.
Did you read what he said?
What did he say?
Didn't they asked him to take the spot of Bradley Beal, and he says, "You didn't come looking for me before. Don't come looking for me now."
Oh man, that's like a personal thing. I know that they're sending JaVale McGee and another youngster who's on the Spurs. I forget his full name, so I'm not going to try and butcher it.
Kevin Love was on the roster, right? And he just got off the roster.
He said, "I'm not going to do it." I think he probably realized, like, I am not the best person for this right now.
He's not, well, they should have realized that like 2 or 3 years ago, if not longer.
I
hear
what Ja Morant's saying, and I feel like maybe they probably should have taken him originally on this team. No offense to Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal's an amazing player. I'd rather have Ja Morant on my team than Bradley Beal straight up, let alone now that you're down Bradley Beal.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even look up the Team USA roster because that's how much I didn't care about it. But Tony Tucker said Middleton's coming to save the day. After they lose to the Suns, he's going to want another – he's going to want something, so he's going to go get a gold medal. Rest easy, America.
I hope Middleton does go out there, and I hope the Antetokounmpo family goes and plays for Greece or plays for their country that they represent. But man, like another one is the Ball brothers. Why isn't Lonzo Ball or LaMelo Ball out there?
Because there's no money involved.
Exactly. They don't actually.
The modern day athlete only cares about what? And I don't blame them. What you can do to get this. And in the Olympics, you play for free. Unless you win a gold medal, then you get paid. You get paid like $25,000, I think, if you win a gold medal. But then you got to pay taxes on that medal. Did you know that?
Jeez, man. Like I'm not a Zion hater yet. I have been skeptical of him because I'm a big supporter of people would look as his competition in the NBA, right? Big Luka guy, big Ja Morant guy, stuff like that. So I have been critical of him a little bit more than he probably deserves. But this move, if he was asked, I'm sure if he raised his hand and said, "Hey, I want to play on the Olympic team," he might have earned a spot on the roster. This move of not going out there and then now seeing the team struggling, we still haven't heard anything about Zion going out there. Unless he's injured, this is going to take some really high level play to get me back in his corner. I'll say that. That's pretty tough for me. I don't like that one at all. I need to see Zion Williamson out there if he's the face of the NBA and of American basketball going forward as we see these guys age. If Steph Curry went out there, it'd be a wrap. I will say that too. So
yeah, if you can get actually the big name guys out there and they actually want to go out there and they want to play and they want to win, yes, you can do it. Yeah. But that's not the way that the modern day Team USA basketball, that's not where they're at. That's not where they're at anymore.
Well, I'm just saying if it gets too gloom and doom, say they lose the first game or something, all they got to do is just fly Steph out there and all is fixed.
Team USA was the original super teams.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That was the original. That's when you saw these big names come together. Now they're doing it every season, so it don't matter.
Ooh, that's a good take, dude. You should put that on a graphic. Anyways, let us know who you think won this round. Basically, the argument is Joe thinks Team USA could be doomed in these Olympics. I think that we're overreacting a little bit. To go back to the base of the argument, I know we did some good banter here. I think we probably got a few things we could put on graphics from this conversation. So let us know in the chat who you think won this round. Are you ready to move to the next one, Joe?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, let's move on to the next round after a short and brief chant. USA, USA, USA.
Name a fantasy football sleeper you're targeting in the drafts.
Wait, did you just chant for USA and you didn't allow me to chant for it? Wow. Anyways, fantasy football is here, Mike. It's here. We're doing mock drafts Mondays. We're doing all this other stuff. So I've been thinking, I got all these names going through my head. Who could be a sleeper? What's a big sleeper? Who's a big sleeper? Guess what, Mike? I'm taking a tight end. Everyone knows about the big three. They got Waller. You got Kelsey or Kels. However you say his name now, because he says we're saying his name wrong. And you got Kittle. After that, in fantasy football, you have to hope, pray that you hit lightning in the bottle with your selection at tight end. We've heard it from many people that there's not really a difference from tight end number 4 through tight end number 20, Mike. Get all upset. But my sleeper, Minnesota Vikings. And you got the hat on, Mike, so give me that win right now. Minnesota Vikings tight end Irv Smith Jr. is my sleeper. The Vikings offense started off really, really slow last year, but started to pick up steam towards the end. The Vikings are loaded on offense. 2 top wideouts, a top running back, and Kirk Cousins, who was the 11th best fantasy quarterback last season. Irv Smith was kind of held back because of Kyle Rudolph, right? Who's now, he gone. Get him on out of here. He's a New York Giant. He's gone. I think his targets, receptions, and yards go up this year. You know what, Mike? I'm going to say it. 65 receptions, 800 yards, and 8 touchdowns for my guy, Irv Smith Jr. this year. You like that, Mike? Because this will be a high-power offense, and they're going to put up some points in Minnesota. In a weak fantasy position, Irv Smith will come out as a great fantasy value and sleeper. You could take running backs, you could take wide receivers, you could get lucky there. But a tight end sleeper that you hit on will win you a fantasy football championship. Irv Smith Jr. is going to ball out this year.
First of all, I don't need that. It was covering up my little swimming hair that I got going here, and I desperately need a haircut. So that's going to happen tonight or tomorrow anyways. But we're not here to look good. We're here to yell at each other and talk shit. Anyways, this was a tough one and a tough topic to come up with because I needed to give something without giving up too much. I love your strategy with going with a tight end, a meaningless position that anyone after those top 3, it's not going to matter who you get. It's going to be similar. 800 yards. 650, Joe? We'll go 650. I'll meet you somewhere there. Anyways, a lot of my future competitors are probably watching and in the live chat as we speak. So I just wanted to preference that before I say who I am going to put as my sleeper. I will give a sleeper, though. One of the guys I'm looking at. Maybe they're down on the list a little ways. Tony called him a semi-sleeper, but I'm going with Myles Gaskin. Gaskin is a guy who has my full attention because he's an RB that can start in one of my RB spots, in either my RB1 or RB2, and a guy that I can get after I've grabbed a few great wide receivers on one of those top tight ends and still feel very safe in my RB2 or flex position. The Dolphins showed some serious faith in Gaskin this offseason, with their only major addition in free agency being Malcolm Brown. And then the big thing for me, right when they did this, in the back of my little fantasy mind, I thought, Myles Gaskin, that he's got Brian Flores' faith when they passed on Najee Harris at 18th overall and drafted defense instead. If the Finns believe in Gaskin this much, I believe in Gaskin. His ADP is late round 4 and into early round 5. In a more competitive league, you're probably going to see round 4, and he's carrying an average close to 25 as a position rank for his position. I looked over a couple websites. I saw as high as 21 and as low as 28. 25 was about the average ranking for me. barring health concerns, you can get him at that value in that 4th or 5th round, especially in a little bit less experienced league, and expect top 15 RB numbers from week to week. Gaskin is a very solid flex / RB2 play. And if you draft receiver early and tight end early, maybe even your little no RB strategy play if you want to get him in that 4th or 5th round. Pair that strategy with Gaskin, and I promise you, you'll win your league.
So you're saying a 4th or 5th rounder in a fantasy draft is a sleeper?
Yes. If he's
A
your
4th
third
or 5th rounder.
If he's your 3rd running back and / or you have George Kittle or Travis Kelce, since he's all of a sudden we're saying his name wrong, or Darren Waller with Devontae Adams, and then you get Gaskin, you're going to be just fine. Gaskin's going to
It's not a sleeper if they're going in the top 5 rounds, Mike.
How is it not a sleeper? He's going to be a bench or flex player.
No.
That's going to give you RB1 numbers.
A sleeper is like Irv Smith Jr., like I just said, that I can
What
get.
round is Irv Smith going in? What's Irv Smith's ADP? Because I seen him going in like round 8, which I think is ridiculously high.
134.
That's pretty far back.
Yeah, that's a sleeper. I take Irv Smith 10th round, and he hits. That's a sleeper. You take Myles Gaskins into the 4th round, into the 5th round, and he hits. He's supposed to do that.
So do you think that your little 800-yard projection, 8 touchdown is going to win your league? Or do you think that getting Myles Gaskin and pairing him with Devontae Adams and Darren Waller is more likely to win your league?
I get Irv Smith, and I pair him up with somebody else that over Myles Gaskin that you didn't take because I took running back, and then I start taking wide receivers. I'm winning my league because you're not going to have a great tight end.
I just said I'd have Darren Waller. You're right. I wouldn't have a great tight end because he plays on that team.
What team?
The Raiders. Darren Waller.
Piss the millions of people off that are watching right now. Go ahead. Talk about them Raiders.
Out of the millions, how many of them are Raiders fans? Like 15?
There's only one nation.
If
one
they're
Raider nation.
If they're smart, there'll only be like 15.
The smart people wait on tight ends. Smart people wait on quarterbacks. And that's where you get your sleepers at the end of the draft. You don't get sleepers in the 4th or 5th round of a fantasy football draft, Michael.
To me, a sleeper is someone that you don't expect you to help you win your league, but helps you win your league. Irv Smith, as I'm high on him too as a tight end, but Irv Smith will not be the win-loss in my league. Because if he reaches those crazy numbers that you just listed, he is still nowhere near a top 5 tight end. He's going to be 7 or 8. And he's going to be off by about 200 yards.
I'll take it.
But it's not going to do anything. Your other moves are going to be what win.
In a PPR league with a tight end that you have to play a tight end, you wouldn't take a tight end that catches 60 balls, 800 yards, and what I say, 8 touchdowns?
Yes, I'm telling you, for one, those are ridiculous stats. He's not going to do that. He's going to have 650 yards if he has a solid year and 5 touchdowns. Okay, well, just
from 150 yards.
But that's a lot.
One big game.
That's 15 points. Anyways, well, I guess there's a 17th game. We'll talk about the game's average later. The point that I'm trying to make is, yes, I would want Irv Smith in the 9th round if you're going to guarantee me 800 yards and 8 touchdowns. You can't guarantee me that, first of all. But if you could guarantee me that, I'm going to take Myles Gaskin in round 5 or round 4 still, even with knowing I have Irv Smith in the bank at 800 yards in round 8 or 9 or 10 or 13 or whatever the hell it's going to be. I almost cursed there.
Maybe we need to get our PR team, our Warzone Sports
public relations. What does that mean?
Social media team to go out there, put a poll up somewhere, and say who is a sleeper, Irv Smith or Myles Gaskin, and I guarantee everybody is gonna. I would say 80% say Irv Smith.
Who is the better sleeper?
Who is actually a sleeper?
He is a sleeper. He's RB 25. He's the 25th ranked RB who can start in your flex and RB2 and put up RB1 numbers.
Mike.
Your tight end is ranked inside the top 15 for his position.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. I think he's ranked 12 or 13 right now. 100%.
No,
Google.
According to Fantasy Pros, he is the 28th best tight end.
Don't look at Fantasy Pro. Look at everyone's. Oh, man.
What do they say? If the facts don't fit the theory, you got to change the facts.
Well, I mean, yes. If it's going to result in me losing an argument, then I'm going to change the facts. Yeah, let's talk to our fantasy experts about this. Fantasy experts, let us know in the chat which one of us is right. It's going to be.
If Piggy were here, he'd be losing his mind because he's a Dolphins fan. Of course, he's going to build up his own running back.
It's going to be
build him up. We're
going to be here for a while, Joe, because I haven't seen any of our fantasy experts yet in the chat. So we'll just wait, stay on the air, and just stare at each other until this is solved.
No, I don't want to spend extra time with you that I don't have to. I don't want to be on the air with you. I said I'll do 30 minutes with Mike, and I'm out.
Anyways, we're at minute 35. I got the outro graphic pulled up. Any last condolences, Joe, before these people vote for me?
They're not voting for you. Team USA sucks. The basketball team sucks. They're going to lose. Sorry to tell you, I love USA, but we suck at basketball. It's not going to happen, right? The Suns and the Bucks have been a great series. That's win number 2. That's 2 of them. And then I just kicked your butt right here with Irv Smith. I actually picked the sleeper. You didn't. 3 of these topics, all 3 to me. Type it in the comments. Joe wins. Let me get my win and get on out of here. Win number 17 coming my way.
And then when you're done voting for Joe in the comments and giving him win number 17, the same amount that the Los Angeles Lakers have. Just want to point it out. But anyways, after you're done giving him that 17th victory, head over to www.warzonesportsnetwork.com. That's the best I'm going to give you because I used all my breath in the .com. Anyways, head to that website. We have all of our shows up there. We have blogs. We have the merch store if you want any of our merch. I know we're not rocking it today. We don't have enough to rock it 7 days of the week. And if we wore the same shirt 7 times, might start to have some problems. But you can get yourself some awesome Warzone merch. Even just the purchase of one of those stickers, we appreciate it a ton. We are partnered with Prize Picks as I do the outro and finish these plugs up. So if you guys want to play along with us for the NBA Finals Game 6, enter your picks now. Use code WARZONE when you deposit, and Prize Picks is going to match up to $100. So if you put down 10 or you put down 15, they're going to give you 20 or 30 to play with, and then you can tune into the live stream, and you can see if you do better than us on your Prize Picks. We really appreciate it. Once again, code WARZONE, prizepicks.com, or you can download the app. Did I miss anything, Joe? Tomorrow's Fantasy Football Boot Camp live.
Fantasy Football Boot Camp live here on the Warzone Sports Network. Also followed by a live coverage watch party of NBA Finals game number 5, where the Phoenix Suns go up 3-2 before they go back home to the desert.
Game 5's pivotal. I've been saying Game 6 just because I'm lost in the sauce because it's been such a boring finals. But anyways, Game 5 is pivotal. I'm pretty sure it's like a 80-something% of series are won when you win Game 5.
Well, you know who's taking it. The Phoenix Suns. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was beautiful.
They're not going to give it to us. But to my guy, Tony Tucker, and the rest of you guys, you know what came out today? Space Jam Dose.
Oh, yeah, I got to see that. I'm probably going to watch it tonight, actually. It's going to be a good time. Let us know what you guys think of Space Jam in the comments as well, especially if you're watching the replay. You got plenty of time to type up, hey, Space Jam was good. Or, hey, LeBron should be out in Tokyo and stop wasting his time with this movie.
Basically, it's LeBron's true story, right? He has to carry a bunch of non-talented players to a championship.
Yeah, sounds like him. Anyways, we can ramble on and on all day. Check out Fantasy Football Boot Camp tomorrow one more time. They're probably going to tell you to draft Myles Gaskin over Irv Smith if you're given the choice. Just guessing, basically, what they're going to say. And when you're watching Fantasy Football Boot Camp, remember this little tad bit of advice, because you might get caught by surprise if they give out a bad take. And that is, when you're talking sports or watching sports, you never know when you're going to have to go to Thank you guys for 1,000. Whoa! Gotcha.
Let's get ready to rumble. Step into the war zone. 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 Friday night war zone. Friday night war zone. Hey yo, it's Phil Flames. I'm with Mike on the Mic and Joe Morley. About to bring you more heat. Welcome to the war zone. You can have a floor seat. Watch them on your iPhone. Watch them on your Galaxy. It's a sports debate show. Straight up out of SoCal. Gather around the laptop. Friday nights it goes down. And we on the radio. Coming to your locale. Got into the third round. Better bring the smoke now. Step into the war zone. 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 Step into the war zone.